Power Book 2, Ghost, Season 3, Episode 3. Human capital is the lesson of the day in Dr. Harper's class. And she asks what human capital means. Spitty mouth. Ugh, disgusting. She asks the class to define what human capital is. Diana volunteers. Her response is when you're used by people as a person to do work, and then when they are done with you, they get rid of you. So the Dr. Harper was like, yeah, that's true. And anybody else? And then some guy in the back of the class was like, it's defined as, and he gives the textbook definition. And then we see Davis talking to Monet in his office. So she was like, the Zeke situation has been handled. Like, I don't need you digging into that anymore. Because she really believed that they found who killed Zeke and beat up Drew. And she said, and don't call me on that burner no more. He was like, I haven't called you. So she was like, yes, you did. And he ain't take heed to that. So she pulled out a new burner, gave him a new one, and told him to get rid of the other one. We see Jenny and Blanca having a conversation. Jenny is chewing Whitman out for going up messing with Monet or whatever. And she said, and you told her about Dante Spears, so that our angle with that for this Rico case is fucked because of what you did, running your mouth. And she let him know she went to his higher ups and got him suspended. So he's not supposed to be doing nothing. But what he doing? Still stalking Monet, trying to pin Carrie's murder on Monet. And he like, I'm trying to do this for my fallen comrade. And I forget if it was Jenny or Blanca, but one of them was like, for your past lover, for your girlfriend, like you trying to avenge her death. And my whole thing is, but you was all like tearing her down in season 2, but now you want to avenge her death. Because you swear it's not a suicide. Jenny and Blanca was like, it was deemed a suicide. He was like, and y'all talking about me being emotional, but look at y'all being emotional because y'all got a hard on for this Tariq St. Patrick kid. Like, what is that? Another point in the episode, we do find that Effie realizes that Braden set Tariq ass up to sell drugs at Western Holdings. She figured it out. She asked him. He was just looking stupid. They get pulled up by Norma's henchman, and he has a picture of Diana, a picture of Braden's parents, and a picture of Big Mama, Tariq grandma. He said that if y'all not doing what Dante was doing, y'all don't move this weight fast enough. Y'all moving too slow. The first person we're going to kill is her, and he points to Diana. That gets Kane pissed and shook a little bit, right? So, they like, we can't let this happen. So, we see Drew, a quick sex scene with Drew and some new dude, and Drew got his. The boy tried to kiss and do that, and Drew like rolled off of him and went back looking at his phone. Dude took the hand and left. As he was leaving, we see Kane coming in, and Kane looking like the fuck. Like, he irritated that Drew keep bringing these randoms to the fucking penthouse. As if the penthouse, like, y'all already know that the penthouse being watched. So why are you doing this? This is stupid and dangerous. But, we see him talk, look at Drew sideways or whatever, right? And then he goes to talk to Diana. He pops up at Stansfield, and as Diana walking down the hall with the TA, his name's Salim. She was like, that's my real brother. So Salim goes on about his business, and her and Kane have a conversation. Kane checks up on, like, I'm just here to check up on you. I don't want nothing from you. And she was like, I got a job I'm trying to get to. And he was like, what, that little candy job, that bookstore job, whatever? That ain't no money. And she was like, well, I gotta do what I gotta do. So he gives her some money and say he gonna take care, he gonna look out for her or whatever, right? He ain't holding what happened against her. It seems he really just wanted to check on his sister. He tried to give her a gun, she wouldn't take it, but she took some money from him. He tells her to come past to the penthouse for dinner. She like, all right, cool, do it. I'ma do it. We see Effie meet with Effie doing her exchanges and her drops and all that stuff. She's still using that whole thing that Tariq and Braden was doing when they had the stuff in the brick on the rooftop of the building. So she has started with her little app like Tariq and Braden had. But we see her meet up with some girl, and the girl is like, you're not moving it enough, or you ain't do what we talked about doing, or whatever. She was like, because Tariq said it's hot. And the girl like, but since when you just listen and go along with somebody else say, basically, or whatever. So that put a little in her. So we see the dinner scene. The dinner is Drew, Kane, Lorenzo, and Diana. They talk about how they're gonna move this product. Kane has been shitting on Lorenzo left and right. They have dinner. They decide they need to move. They need to take. What was the uncle name that they killed? His wife was Evelyn, and she used to be on New York Undercover. But whatever their father, Frank's sons, that's what his name is, Frank. They decide that they need to move into their territory, and they want somebody to kill. They know that Frank's boys is moving weight for the Russians. The Russians are dangerous. So they said we need somebody to take out their pipeline. Because the smarter thing would, I forget who said it, but the smarter thing would be to kill their connect. Because they Drew like, I don't want to kill them. Like, we grew up with them and all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't want to do that. Basically, the whole episode is about, like I said, in the capital, right? What this person can do for you versus what you can do for them, what you can gain or whatever. So they decide the plan is going to be to kill one of the Russians and come in so they can be the connect for and work with Frank's sons instead of killing them or whatever. And they decide that Kane and Drew decide that Braden is going to be the one to take out, because they feel like it's going to be too obvious if they go in, a black person doing it. So they like, we're going to get Braden to kill their connect. Because Kane felt like Braden owed him a body anyway, because he felt like Braden he don't believe that Braden actually killed Lauren like he told him to. And he did it. Effie thought she did, but we all see that Lauren is still alive. So anyway, we see a scene where Davis has Tariq and Braden at some custom suit shop. They getting dressed up for something. We don't know what. Davis is sitting there taking a drink while they are talking and running some shit down to Davis or whatever. And Tariq is running down to him about Whitman and all other stuff like that and what's going on up in Stansfield and all that kind of stuff. We see Whitman go to the prison to go visit somebody. And I'm like, who is this new guy? He like talking about the case. And when he get to talking about the details, like they said the assailant was 6'5", you only 5'11". Why would you sign some paperwork even from a public defender saying that you did this when you know that it's in here already that the person was this tall? So the guy played it off, was like, I don't know what I was signing. Like they was telling me all that, and I just was like, I'm just gonna take the deal. And he was like, but you not the one who did it. Actually, that was not Whitman, that was Sachs questioning him. And at that point when he said that, I said, so they didn't replace Redman as Sachs' brother? I mean, as Davis's brother, and got a new actor? And I'm thinking, why would they do that? Then I get on Facebook, and the Power Group, somebody said that, a few people said, Redman refused to get vaccinated, so therefore they had to find another person to play that part. I said, oh, okay. So anyway, the guy didn't do that great acting out the scene, but whatever. That was just a quick scene. So it's clicking in Zach's mind like, who else is that tall? So then we see Braden, Tariq, and Uncle Lucas at some big meeting, like a seminar type. And we meet this character named, is his name Raymond? Raymond Seals something. Raymond Seals Joseph or something like that. RSJ. This is a black man that's so smart. And like basically like the richest black man globally, right? He talking about supply, demand, all those things like that. Talking economics. And I looked at him, like at first when he was up there on the podium giving his speech, I was just like, oh, okay. I couldn't picture him. I mean, I couldn't get the details of the face. But when he got closer to Lucas and was talking to Lucas, I recognized him. I said, is that you, Chris? The actor who played Chris Partlow on The Wire, his real name is Banga Akimbe. He also played, what was his name on Lottery Ticket? I forgot what his name was, but I remember Ice Cube character was like, he's a drug baby, a crack baby felon. Like his name was Lorenzo on Lottery Ticket, if I'm not mistaken. And he, beat up Bow Wow and took his sneakers and stuff like that. Him. This was like a really different character for him to play. And I liked it. I kind of liked it. But he looked totally different. No facial hair. He looks like he slimmed down a whole lot since his role is Chris and Lorenzo in Lottery Ticket. But he got in Lucas' shit, was like, yeah, you brought this black boy with you to look like you being inclusive and all that kind of stuff. Because we saw when they was walking in, Kiki thought she was going in too, and Lucas was like, no. And then that's when she saw Tariq sitting at the bar with Braden, and she said, oh, that's why, because you already got your quota, right? So she feels some type of way. So there's some resentment from her on that part. So RSJ has a conversation with Lucas, and they say what they need to say. And then Lucas turned his head and goes to talk to somebody else. We see Tariq go up to RSJ, introduce himself, and was like, I got a question. And he gave Tariq a good answer, and that's how Tariq is going to figure out how to move the product as fast as they need to for Noma. So then we see Tariq and Braden and Effie have a brainstorming session, and they come up with an idea of how they can move the product. What's the thing that people move on Wall Street all the time ordering? Coffee. So they're going to put the drugs in the screw bottom of the coffee cup. And that's how they're going to deliver it. I said that's genius. And they're gonna chop the product up in a way that they can still get a really good profit and undercut the other suppliers in the area and drive them out of business and make their business boom. I said that's a great idea. So when Tariq came up with that and they talked about it, he leaves. That's when Effie asked Braden, did he make Tate not give Tariq the internship? He was like, you took the internship from, she said, you took the internship from Tariq, didn't you? We see a scene where Effie goes to put drugs in the little locker thing, and when she comes down, Diane is right there waiting for her. Them two have a conversation. Diane like, you lied to me. She like, no, I didn't. She was like, I see you with Tariq. Everybody lying to me. You moving weight on stage. So I thought y'all wasn't going to be doing it. She was like, don't nobody know I'm doing this or whatever. Nobody's lying to you. And she said, but what about the whole thing with Tariq? I saw y'all together. She was like, because I wasn't lying to you when I told you need to stay. He not right for you, but me and him, we got a connection that you can't compare to. You not the right person for him. He not the right person for you. And I didn't want you to get hurt. He was just going to do what he do and then hurt you eventually or whatever. So that's when Diana let her know, whatever, I'm not about to be, because Effie said something about I ain't about to fight over no nigga. And Diana was like, and neither am I. And Effie had said something to her about being in her family business, and she was like, I don't want that. I just want to go to school. I never wanted to be a part of the family business. And she walked off. Next thing you know, Kane, Lorenzo, and Drew have a meeting with Frank's sons. It's like 4 or 5 of them. And they talk about, being their supplier, their connect. They was like, yeah, they mentioned that the guy got killed because they went to go kill the guy. Braden froze up and Tariq had to come through and shoot him. And they ran off and went into a restaurant, played it off like they was at dinner. It was Tariq, Braden, and Effie. Braden told me I gotta go to the bathroom and gonna go over around the corner like he going to the bathroom and text Kane and them talk about it's done. When Kane mentioned that they needed to connect to the Frank's sons, they was like, we know it was you that set this whole thing up so you can be the connect. And he was like, no, I didn't. Why would I do something like that? They was like, because they said it looked like you. He was like, from what I heard, that was a white boy. And then Lorenzo comes in and backs Kane up like, yeah, it was a white boy. I heard from my people. And they was like, no, we got people that was there. And they said it was a black boy looking like you, Kane. So that pissed Kane off or whatever. But the brothers go have a quick little meeting to the side. And they decide that they're going to go ahead and let Kane and them be the suppliers. They came like, let's celebrate with a drink. They was like, no, none of that, and they left. They still feeling salty about it. Lorenzo said something to the boys about Kane taking charge, Kane being in charge and Drew being the second man in command. Drew is upset at that. Kane texts Braden, told him to meet him somewhere. Braden leaves Effie and goes to meet Kane out by the water. Kane comes up behind him, put the gun to his head like, I told you, you were supposed to drop that body, but they said it was a black person, so who you got, Tariq, to do it? And he was like, I did it. He was like, no, you didn't. I already know. So he admitted that he didn't do it. And Kane like, you gonna give me a body, and you gonna move some weight, you gonna do something, he said to him. And he left. Next thing you know, Kane had gave Lorenzo some drugs, like, you gonna do this. Kane took Lorenzo down somewhere and watched as Lorenzo got beat up by some young boys. I said that was him getting his lick back for his father letting the guards beat him up when he came in to visit him in season 2. Was that season 2? I think it was. It was either at the end of season 1 or season 2. But he gives Lorenzo some more weight, telling Lorenzo he gotta move all this weight. Because what he doing ain't good enough. And he coming down on Lorenzo because Noma coming down on him. And he's scared. He don't want nothing to happen to his damn sister either. And we see Diane in her dorm with the TA, with Celine. They kiss and she hear a knock at the door. They separate. She say come in. And she's shocked to see her father there. He got a duffel bag. I'm like, what the fuck he got in that duffel bag? And, she tells Celine she'll talk to him later. And then that's when Lorenzo come in and talking to her and was like, you got to move this weight. You got to help Poppy out. Things not good. Things not going good for Poppy right now. You got to help the family out. I said, no, the fuck you did. Tell that girl she free and clear. She can go to school in peace. And here you are taking some weight down there and telling her to sell drugs. So now her and Effie going to be in competition with each other trying to sell drugs on campus. A mess. Or I wonder if she going to get Effie to help her find a way to sell the drugs on campus. Crazy, 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 crazy. Lorenzo, you digging a deeper and deeper hole for yourself. When Monet find out that you did that to Diane, when Kane find out that you did that to Diane, it's gonna be some smoke in the fucking city. It's gonna be some smoke in the city. I saw somewhere a few days ago that at some point Michael Ealy is also gonna be on this season of the show. And I wonder in what kind of capacity is he gonna be? Somebody like a lawyer or politician or something? Or is he going to be on the underworld drug business side? I wonder. I also wonder if something in my mind tell me that Banger wasn't here just for this one scene in this one episode. Something tells me that Banger might be in with Noma in them. And by Banger, I'm meaning his real name is Banger, but the character he's playing is RSJ. I wonder if he is at the top of the food chain with Noma in them. What y'all think? Get in the comments and let me know what y'all think about this episode. Human Capital, Power Book 2, Ghost, Season 3, Episode 3. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.